broadcasting live from our Pocket Studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jam and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's always a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Well, good evening to you, Zain, and a warm welcome once again to our viewers. My name is Joyce Mabika. Noble Maungwa is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Sibugele Maposa will be joining us from our Montreux studios, but we kick off this bulletin with the headlines. President Emmerson Mnangagwa addresses the 8th Conference of Chinese and African Entrepreneur urging enterprises to close knowledge gaps.
Net closes in on Chipinge armed robbers who got away with more than 100,000 United States dollars and over 200 rand from a security company.
Fire kills 17 primary school children in Kenya.
And Zimbabwe and Kenya play out to a goalless draw in a 2025 AFCON qualifier.
And now for the news in detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has called for the African continent to address knowledge gaps for its modernization agenda to succeed. He was speaking as the curtain came down on the two-day forum on China-Africa cooperation in Beijing. Let's get the details.
The president was speaking at the 8th Conference of Chinese and African Entrepreneurs, which took place during the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit, challenged enterprises to scale up dialogue for better prospects.
Achieving the aspirations and targets we have outlined at this year's forum will take collective effort involving our respective governments, as well as the private sector, along with the broader ecosystem of SMEs and those in the science, technology, and innovation space, to drive modernization, overall business and economic growth in Africa. It is critically important that we continuously address knowledge gaps. I challenge both Chinese and African enterprises to scale up dialogue and engagements on aspects to do with trade, industrial, and value chain development, including in emerging industries such as virtual reality, robotics, 5G networks, blockchain technology, and artificial intelligence, among others.
With China partnering African countries for development, President Mnangagwa said the continent has a lot to learn from the Asian giant.
Africa's transition to contemporary skills and technological trends must be able to ride on the shoulders of Chinese enterprises that have gone ahead of us. This will be the bedrock upon which Africa and China can better understand each other and forge concrete business partnerships that expand economic cooperation for mutual benefit.
At a time when the International Trade Center revealed that total trade between China and Africa reached a record 284 billion United States dollars last year, the president stressed the importance for more work to be done to maximize the enormous potential of the China-Africa bloc. Focusing on Zimbabwe, President Mnangagwa noted the need for the country to increase its trade with China.
In case of Zimbabwe, China accounts for 18% and 15% of Zimbabwe's exports and imports, respectively. We stand ready to leverage on prospects presented by the new partnership initiatives under FOCAC, especially in relation to the support and prioritization of Africa's industrialization, energy, and trade to accelerate our country's ongoing national development, modernization, and our industrialization agenda.
President Mnangagwa also said Zimbabwe is fast becoming a knowledge-driven industrializing country through its highly literate population and skilled human capital. The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation ended this Friday, with President Mnangagwa calling on prospective business partners to consider Zimbabwe as a safe, secure and profitable destination for investments. 50 leaders from across Africa attended the summit, which reaffirmed the strong will by China to partner the continent in development. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Beijing.
A government is collaborating closely with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, to address migration challenges and facilitate the successful reintegration of returnees. This came to the fore when the Chief of Mission of United Agency on Migration, Ms. Diana Katia, paid a courtesy call on Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Comrade Opamuchinguri Kashiri, in Harare this Friday.
With the nation grappling with a myriad of migration challenges, including brain drain, refugee influx, irregular migration, and human trafficking, it has raised the need for the collaborations with other organizations to address these complexities. Briefing journalists after meeting the Chief of Mission of United Nations Agents on Migration, Ms. Diana Ketia, the Minister of Defense, Honorable Opamuchinguri Kashiri, who is the Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, reviewed the country's expectations from the International Organization for Migration.
We are happy that already her predecessor was working with Home Affairs, because Home Affairs, there are a lot of migration issues. She is also working with the Ministry of Health. She will touch local government because of climate change issues, since they had the issue of civil protection of migration. Migration affects quite a number of people nationally, regionally and internationally.
United Nations Agents on Migration Chief of Mission Ms. Diana Ketia reaffirmed the organization's unwavering commitment towards supporting Zimbabwe in addressing the complex migration challenges.
We know migration exists, and the best way to make it work and be positive is to find ways for it to be able to flow in a way where it's regular, where people are safe when they migrate, where they can take choices, they can go and they can come back. And this is always a challenge. It's a challenge around the world, but it's one that we are committed to looking at here in Zimbabwe.
Government is capacitating critical arms, including the Department of Immigration, which recently received 36 new vehicles to boost operations. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, Verify Engineering is making headway towards commercial production of lithium batteries, with laboratory works having been completed to test feasibility of the innovations.
From gas and oxygen production, Verify Engineering is set to add to its portfolio lithium battery production, with development of prototypes now complete at its Mutare plant. The innovation being explored with indigenous components is a potential game changer for a country that boasts of the largest lithium deposits on the continent.
We are supporting the technologies that the company is developing in various sectors, in various areas, such as lithium-ion battery development, the coal-to-liquid fuel development, as well as waste oil regeneration. We are able to simulate battery manufacturing processes in terms of formulation of battery materials, assembly of battery materials, and utilization of artificial intelligence in quality assurance for battery materials. We can say the cathode, the anode, electrolyte, yes, the capacity to develop is available.
The production is expected to further fuel the industrialization drive.
There is a drive to beneficiate the ore, that is to make products. And the biggest product which is there on the market is the lithium-ion battery. As we are moving from this fossil fuel energy, we are moving to smart energy, the electric cars, the electric buses, and everything. So we would also need lithium-ion battery. So if a country is able to manufacture those lithium-ion batteries, it will actually be a game changer for everyone.
Government has been pushing modernization and industrialization through innovations, with some of the captivating innovations set to be recognized at the Presidential Innovation Fair later this month. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Mutare.
A government is working with its development partners to improve access to healthcare services, with people of Masvingo benefiting from a new warehouse for national pharmaceutical company Natfarm.
The newly commissioned Natfarm warehouse in Masvingo is worth more than 3.6 million United States dollars and has a storage capacity of nearly 3,000 pallet space. The Natfarm warehouse, which will serve close to 250 health institutions across Masvingo province, was commissioned this Friday after being handed over to government by the United Nations Development Programme.
The commissioning of this warehouse aligns with our broader vision for healthcare sector reform and sustainable development. It signifies our commitment to leveraging modern technologies and innovative solutions to address the needs of our people. By investing in infrastructure such as this, we are laying the groundwork for a resilient and responsive healthcare system that will save Zimbabwe from generations to come.
UNDP says it has invested in the supply chain system in Zimbabwe as part of its resilient system strengthening for health.
The Global Fund, UNDP, Government of Zimbabwe partnership is focusing substantial attention on medical supply chain management system in this particular country, which we're using to really support what you call resilient system strengthening for health in this particular country. And we're so pleased to work with the government.
The Natfarm board and Masvingo provincial leadership appreciated the development, which will ensure that all the districts have access to medical supplies in time.
With its modern infrastructure and advanced storage capabilities, the warehouse will enable us to streamline our logistics, reduce delays, and improve the overall efficiency of our supply chain.
The government's commitment to improving healthcare infrastructure is evident through various initiatives aimed at expanding and modernizing facilities across the province and the country at large.
Government and its partners are working on a number of programs to improve access to healthcare, including constructing clinics, hospitals, and equipping them with modern equipment. Mes Matina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
Parliament has expressed satisfaction with the progress in the implementation of the Geopomona Waste-to-Energy project, describing it as an exemplary private-public partnership.
The committee was given an insight into all the stages of waste management at the Geopomona Waste Management site in Harare as part of Parliament's oversight role on entities associated and owned by the Harare City Council. The Public Accounts Committee is chaired by Honorable Charlton Wende.
We are impressed with the work that we are seeing here. The last time that we were here, you couldn't move around without masks. And you can see that the place is clean. There's a lot of work that is going on. There's some positive developments in regards with the progress on the facilities that Geopomona has promised to the city of Harare.
Harare Mayor Councillor Jacob Mafume said since the handover of the site to Geopomona in 2022, the operational agreement has been adhered to.
We are currently doing a budgetary process, so we'll sit down with our parent ministry and the generality of government to come up with a solution. As you know, waste management was declared at one time a national disaster by the president, and a task force was put up by the ministry, and it is a thing that we are actively engaged in.
Other members of the Portfolio Committee on Public Accounts expressed dissatisfaction with the transformative impact of the project.
We are witnessing the sustainability approach, where we are looking at the triple Ps, the people, the planet, and the profit, right? So that's the approach to sustainability.
What is being done here is an innovation yokuti inosimudzwa nyika. Pano mararaiwa yachazoshandiswa kugadzira zvakare electricity ichatobatsira ku energy reserve yedu.
Nemapoints esataona panapa zviri kuitika panapa. chinhu chakanaka kudai chaitika kune nzvimbo dzese dzakawanda tingafara zvikuru.
Geopomona Waste Management Company CEO Dr. Dilesh Nguwaya noted that the project is within the set timelines.
As Geopomona Waste Management, we are ahead the schedule of timelines which we give City of Harare. So what is left right now is to construct the waste to energy plant. Everything according to the agreement, we are aligned and we are on course.
The Geopomona Waste to Energy project attracted the attention of the visiting SADC heads of state at the just-ended 44th SADC Summit, who hailed it as a transformative tool for waste management and energy generation in the region. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
A government has disbursed 70 million Zimbabwe gold in line with the Political Parties Finance Act. According to a government general notice, the funds have been disbursed to ZANU-PF and the Citizens Coalition for Change. The notice reads, "It is hereby notified in terms of Section 3, Subsection 2 of the Political Parties Finance Act, Chapter 211, that the total amount of monies payable to political parties in respect of the year beginning 1st January 2024, ending on the 31st of December 2024, is 70 million ZiG only. The money shall be disbursed to political parties that qualify in terms of Section 3, Subsection 3 of the Act. Just above 47 million ZiG will be paid to ZANU-PF, which received over 68% of the votes in the 2023 general elections. 22,116,500 ZiG will be paid to the Citizens Coalition for Change, which received just over 31% of total votes.
In other news, the Zimbabwe Republic Police has warned schools against keeping large sums of cash at their premises as schools prepare to open for the third term next week.
Schools prepare to open for the third term of the year next week. School authorities have been implored to heed government's directive to receive payments through banks and take necessary steps to avoid becoming targets of armed robbers.
Our call to the general public and advice to school authorities is that as the schools open, they are not supposed to hoard cash at schools. In any case, they should advise parents to use the banking system as advised by the government to ensure that they are not targets of criminals.
Last term, 7 schools fell victim to armed robberies, with some incidents occurring in broad daylight, as was the case in Warren Park, where an armed gang posed as parents intending to pay school fees.
The ministry would like to reiterate an important policy regarding the payment of school fees. That government's position is that school fees should be paid in the local currency, now referred as ZiG or the Zimbabwe gold. And it is crucial to note that schools should not compel parents to pay fees or levies exclusively in foreign currency.
Lighton Primary School in Harare, Tafadzo Primary School of Chitungwiza, Whitcomb Primary School in Hatfield, Ngezi Salvation Army Secondary School of Kadoma, Glen Nora 2 High School and George Stark High School in Mbare all lost huge sums of cash to armed robbers last term. Meanwhile, the ZANU-PF has revealed the net is closing in on a suspected armed gang which pounced on a security company in Chipinge, in which more than 100,000 United States dollars and over 200,000 rand vanished.
Investigations are currently going on very well. The net is actually closing in on the criminals, and we cannot rule out the fact that this could have been an inside the job issue, but the net is closing in on the suspects.
It emerged that 2 Fawcett security company officers, George Namostole and Zime Stole, were on routine supervisory patrols around Chipinge when they were attacked by 2 masked men who were armed with pistols. The armed robbers got away with the loot after forcibly getting the keys for the cash office. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The transformation of Mbire District's Kanyemba into a smart city is shaping up with a modern hotel nearing completion.
Government has marked Kanyemba into a special economic zone with a smart city concept loaded with modern facilities such as hotels, golf estates, a port of entry, and other amenities set for implementation. The vision is taking shape following revelations that a hotel, which is part of a broader initiative to revitalize Kanyemba and position it as a premier destination for local and international visitors, is nearing completion, with the first 25 rooms on the market by the end of the year.
We are still developing it, but already operational with a conference center of up to 60 parks, as well as 7 rooms that are actually operational. In total, we are supposed to close the year at 25, with land that is there to expand to come up to plus or minus 60 bedrooms on site. It's quite on the border of Mozambique, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, on the riverbed of Zambezi, the mighty Zambezi River.
As part of the Kanyemba Smart City initiative, government is also investing in infrastructure such as roads that connect the upcoming town, which overlooks the Zambezi River, to the rest of the country. Wildlife, water-related leisure activities, cross-border trading, and other economic activities supported by the Zambezi River are expected to bolster the transformation and growth of the area. Kanyemba is also strategic as it lies at the border of Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Mozambique, with prospects of the establishment of a one-stop border post high. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Brazil is eager to further strengthen bilateral ties with Zimbabwe in the agricultural sector as the two nations reinforce trade relations.
Economic and commercial relations between Brazil and Zimbabwe are heading for exciting times after the South American nation indicated its keenness to expand the current capacity in agricultural ties. Brazil envoy to Zimbabwe, Ambassador Vilma Coutinho Jr., revealed this at the occasion of his country's National Day, marked in Harare this Friday.
There were 2 delegations, one which came last week, people from the agricultural machinery sector. We established a number of contacts here. Many of the people we contacted were here present at the party today, and we are hoping to conduct very good business to improve the productivity of Zimbabwean agriculture.
The latest position by Brazil expands on already existing bilateral relations in cotton production and cattle breeding. Government is optimistic that trade ties with Brazil will result into mutual economic benefits for the two countries.
We share a lot in common, particularly in the area of agriculture. I'm sure you recall that Zimbabwe is a beneficiary of equipment from Brazil, which we have used to improve on our food security situation. And you know, we are now one of the leading producers now of wheat in the area, and almost coming to self-sufficiency. Has it not been our enemy of climate change? But we are very happy that Brazil has played a major role. When others had abandoned us during sanctions, Brazil came in and ignored sanctions, said sanctions or no sanctions, we are going it with Zimbabwe.
Last year, Brazil hinted on extending its footprint in the education and health sectors, while also seeking to unlock investment opportunities through participating at platforms such as the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair as well as the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show. Zimbabwe has also benefited from Brazil's More Food for Africa program, meant to improve food security among smallholder farmers. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
You're watching the main news. For these and more stories in detail, remember to visit our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you could visit us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. Beyond our country's borders, fire kills 17 primary school children in Kenya.
In the world of sport, Zimbabwe and Kenya play out to a goalless draw in a 2025 AFCON qualifier. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
The Minister of Defense, Honorable Opa Chamo Zipange Muchinguri Kashiri, the Deputy Minister of Defense, Brigadier General Retired Honorable Levi Maihlome, the Secretary for Defense, Comrade Aaron Daniel Tonde Nepera, Commander Defense Forces, General Philip Valerio Sibanda, Service Commanders, General and Air Officers, Chief Director, Directors, Senior Officers, men and women of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, staff of the Ministry of Defense, wish to join His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, and the nation at large, in conveying deepest condolences to the Ndabambi family following the untimely passing on of national hero, Brigadier General Retired Shadrack Dingan Ndabambi. The late Brigadier General Retired Shadrack Dingan Ndabambi dedicated his life to liberate the country from colonial oppression. Throughout his career in the ZANU-PF, the general demonstrated exceptional loyalty and patriotism towards his beloved country. The late Brigadier General will be remembered for his invaluable contribution towards the liberation of the country and defending its ideals after independence. The late Brigadier General Ndabambi was known for his unquestionable work ethic and ability to connect with people and extend a helping hand. He believed in teamwork, collaboration, and the strength of unity. The nation has been robbed of a dedicated cadre and highly competent general officer. May the Almighty God comfort his family during this difficult period. May his soul rest in eternal peace. The Ministry of Defense, guaranteeing a conducive environment for the attainment of Vision 2030.
Shark on the line.
He took my fish.
God, did you see that? I just was like, what?
I really want you to find someone nice who would mean the world to you and make you so happy.
Bernardo Silva, Stones, Foden, a little bit of time. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! What a player!
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Inbucks Swipe Card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Inbucks Swipe Card at any Inbucks booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Inbucks yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Inbucks app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready to make a big splash at the Sanganai Hlanganani World Travel Expo? ZBC, Zimbabwe's leading broadcaster, is your partner in reaching thousands of potential customers. From the 12th to the 14th of September 2024 at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center, the world will be watching. Let us help you create a buzz with captivating radio and television commercials, engaging social media campaigns, and strategic partnerships. Don't miss this golden opportunity to showcase your brand to a wider audience. Contact our ZBC Marketing Department today. Tandega on 0719 594 428 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or visit our offices for more information. Let's make this Sanganai Hlanganani Expo your biggest success yet.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The ZANU-PF Women's League has added its voice to recommendation for President Emmerson Mnangagwa to lead the country beyond 2028, owing to the massive infrastructure development projects being rolled out across the country.
The Revolutionary ZANU-PF Party Women's League held its third executive meeting this Friday at the party headquarters in Harare. The party wing received provincial resolutions ahead of the National People's Conference slated for Bulawayo next month.
continent vamwe kubva kune global vakaona kuti baba Mnangagwa anogona ndosakati Vision 2030 Vision 2030 Mnangagwa anenge vachitonga.
ZANU-PF Secretary for Women Affairs Senator Mabel Chinomona congratulated President Mnangagwa for taking over the SADC chairmanship.
Kuuya kwakaita SADC kuti meeting iitirwe muno kune zvizhinji zvakagadzirisika. Wainyepa waya wakaonekwa kunzi hapana chenyu chokwadi chakadii chakabuda pachena pasina manyepo. Ndinoda kutaura ndichiti zuva ranhasi isisu tiri kufanira kuita makorokoto kuna baba. Tiri pamwe chete. On your behalf, takambotumira makorokoto kuna baba kuti makorokoto maachairman weSADC. Asi ndakuti muri pano ini tiri kufanira kuita makorokoto kuna baba.
The Women's League boss emphasized the need for resolutions to be in black and white, adding that President Mnangagwa should continue to lead the party and the nation beyond 2028. The Women's League's call comes at a time when the party's first secretary and president, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, has reiterated his respect for the party and national constitutions. Bruce Chawanda, ZBC News, Harare.
We're now crossing over to our Montrose studios, and Subukele Maposa is joining us for the next stretch of the bulletin. Good evening to you, Subukele.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Good evening, Zimbabwe. We carry on with the news from this end. ZANU-PF Matebeleland and South Province has added its voice to the growing calls for President Emmerson Mnangagwa's term to be extended beyond 2028 to fulfill Vision 2030.
The recommendation for President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in office until 2030 was one of the major takeaways at the Matebeleland and South Special Provincial Coordinating Committee meeting held in Kwanda this Friday. The Revolutionary Party's leadership, which spoke in unison, says the recommendation is informed by the President's developmental trajectory.
His Excellency, the President, Comrade Mnangagwa, to remain in the office until 2030 to fulfill his vision.
Youth League, sibone ukuqakathekile ukubona ngemisebenzi kamongameli wethu acontinue elokhu ebusa uPresident Mnangagwa ekhokhela ibandla leZANU-PF njalo ekhokhela iZimbabwe as a whole. Lokhu sizikhona kumdala oma phambi kwamdala thina njengabontanga siyawalayo.
Matebeleland and South Province veterans of the liberation struggle acknowledge the good works done by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. We recognize and appreciate our coming on board in terms of decision making right up to the PB level through the formation of the War Veterans League and giving us a fully fledged ministry headed by one of us. Therefore, we are making the following resolutions: that His Excellency, the President of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Mnangagwa, be in office up to 2030.
But if you look at from Beitbridge, border post corner, in any region, Nama plans avela Comrade Mnangagwa. Enza achinja the face of Zimbabwe. Ekupota entry and exit point. Namkani umgwaqo uyahamba usufikile eHarare usudlule eChirundu usiya, which is very good. Kambe umuntu mayesenza kuhle limkhiphela ukuthi aye ngapha ahambe nebrain yonke leyana lisale lingana lutho. So ke yikho likhuluma ngo-2030 likhangele izenzo nezibonakaliso ezenziwe nguPresident uDr. Idi Mnangagwa.
Among the key resolutions was for the 1st of July to be declared a national holiday to honor the late Vice President Dr. Joshua Mqabuko Nyongolo Nkomo, who died on the day in 1999.
Siyabonga ama-districts ethu nge-feedback abasinike yona. Mina ngibamba amabili. Eyaqala ithi umongameli sibamba u-2030 la yatsho. Eyesibili iphume kubontanga. Kodwa mbonele bathayela izandla. Bathi bona uFather Zimbabwe sicela ukuthi 1 July abe national holiday.
The resolutions will be tabled at the upcoming ZANU-PF annual National People's Conference set for Bulawayo next month. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Kwanda.
In a bid to alleviate food insecurity in urban areas, government has launched a cash transfer program to provide vital support to vulnerable households. Let's hear more.
To mitigate the impact of the El Nino-induced drought on urban livelihoods, a targeted initiative informed by the Zimlak Household Survey will support 58,000 households in Bulawayo. The Permanent Secretary for Bulawayo Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mr. Paul Nyoni, highlighted the program's scientific approach. He said the focus is on ensuring aid reaches the most vulnerable, with enumerators currently conducting house visits to collect data and identify beneficiaries.
The government, working with stakeholders, development partners, goes out to actually check on the state of comfort, really, in the economy, in terms of how people are living, what they can afford and not afford, what is their food security primarily at any time. So that gave us the data, that sort of gave us a rough estimate of the numbers that would require that support.
Residents are grateful for the program, citing its impact on their food security well-being.
Abantwana bethu babuye bentshela laba ukuthi uhulumende uzaba loncedo lokuza ekusinceda. Ngingathaba kakhulu ngoba uncedo lolu ngangimina ngigogekile njalo abantu abama basebenzi.
Iwidow njalo ngiyipensioner, ngihlala labazukulu. Lo mama wami ole 99 years and sort of disabled kawoni. Ukudla bonke badla kimi.
Ngakho li program ngibona iluncedo kakhulu ngoba isikhathi esiphila kiso kathesi izimazi zinhle, so sikhangela ukuthi lolu hlelo olulethwa nguhulumende luzasincedisa kakhulu.
Mirroring the government's rural food deficit mitigation strategy, the Urban Cash for Cereal program adopts a similar targeting approach, focusing on vulnerable groups such as people with disabilities, child-headed households, and the elderly to ensure support reaches those who need it most. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Tour operators have applauded the Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo as a catalyst for significant growth and transformation in their businesses over the past few years.
The expo, to be held in Bulawayo from the 12th to the 14th of September, has become a pivotal platform for local tourism enterprises to connect with international buyers, showcase their offerings, and secure valuable partnerships. As the 17th edition draws closer, there is a palpable sense of excitement and anticipation among tour operators that express a profound impact of the expo on the operations of many businesses in recent years.
It's quite a good platform because it's only like tour operators and other stakeholders that are involved in marketing Zimbabwe, so it helps us a lot to exhibit there.
Expo has helped us to gain insight into the latest travel trends. The coming in of international buyers, regional buyers, has really helped the local market in terms of forming synergies.
It's been actually quite good because of new connections, like getting to know other people in the industry, learning from our competitors how they do things and how we can also do things, and also increase our brand awareness and get more sales, obviously.
For smaller operators, the expo has proven to be a catalyst for success.
It helps us to meet with these bigger people, and we get business out of this Sangana, and it helps us to get known outside the world.
Freelance tour guides are also capitalizing on the exports networking opportunities.
So we have found that to be a very invaluable platform where we are able to showcase ourselves and really be able to make people understand who we are and to network with those agencies.
Zimbabwe's tourism sector has witnessed remarkable recovery following the challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic, surpassing the $5 billion United States tourism industry target well ahead of 2025. Yolanda Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
A Gwanda-based children's home has become a shining example of a typical foster home in an African society, with the institution renowned for inculcating family values.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but what of those who stay at foster homes, which are normally secluded for different reasons? Do their lives revolve around the foster home, or do they mirror the owners and caregiver at the home? These were some of the questions we asked ourselves when we got to Kipkino Children's Home in Makwe area of Gwanda North. What surprised us the most was the setup at the institution. There are distinct homesteads with different family laws and habitants. While we were still perplexed, a middle-aged woman walked out of the gate of one of the compounds. She says she has a family of 15 children.
From grade 1, grade 3, grade 4, grade 6, form 1, form 3. So anhlali bachiyana nje bonke, so sabe sibafundisa ukuthi bahloniphane indi laba abakhulu bahloniphe futhi abanawo ukuze laba bekwazi.
Lapha engihlala khona abantwana bakhulisa ngendlela engakhuliswa ngayo mina. Omncane nxa ebizwa ngomkhulu abe asabele ngokuthi boti.
This is a setup at Kipkino Children's Home where 54 inmates from different backgrounds are being raised in a typical Zimbabwean family setup.
Sibevela endaweni ezitshiyeneyo lama backgrounds angikhona achiyana, they need continuous counseling.
Since uqalisile umuzi lo ngo-1970 sitshadise 3 families abantwana bakhule khona lapha.
The Minister of State for Matabeleland and South Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Dr. Evelyn Ndlovu, who taught Kipkino Children's Home this Wednesday, was impressed by the family values being promoted at the foster home.
That concept here, inochidza kuti mwana hatotama psychological problem akula kuti imindalahigwa ku children's home. Unovebona kuti umumba yame ave na tate vavi. So ndiko kwatinohaka kuti vanohaka vaka children's home vatame sapapa kwandabona ngeno kuti unzi sivili una vasvadzi una vosisi navo buti nevanun'una.
Kipkino Children's Home, one of the foster homes in Matabeleland South alongside Msasa and Etandweni, is also involved in income-generating projects like poultry, cattle production, winter wheat and horticulture. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
That is a heartwarming story. Bringing us the end of this news update from our Montrose News Desk, I am Sibigele Maposa. We now circle back to Pockets Hill, where Zane and Joyce will take us through the rest of the bulletin. Good evening.
Well, many thanks to Sibukele and our crew at Montrose Studios in Bulawayo. The Health Service Commission has initiated a comprehensive job evaluation exercise aimed at assessing and redefining the roles and responsibilities of various positions within the health sector.
In an exclusive interview with the ZBC News in Harare this Thursday, Health Service Commission General Manager Conditions of Service and Industrial Relations Mr. Michael Sande shared insights into the Commission's objectives.
This is an exercise that we hope should be able to create a structure that is acceptable, that is uncontestable for the health sector. It is an exercise that will look at different jobs. We are hoping that by the end of November, we should complete the exercise where we should come up with a hierarchy that is not contested, where every health worker should be able to see their position or the position of the jobs that we have.
A commissioner in the Health Service Commission, Mr. Angel Mbengwa, also clarified the anticipated benefits for health workers and the nation at large.
We've done the sensitization program for stakeholders. We have also rolled out and sent out role clarification forms. This job evaluation will benefit the health workers in the sense that we are working on clarifying the job roles and responsibilities, and this will help in streamlining the specific job descriptions by the members, for the members. What this will also entail is it may help in attending to the issues of workload.
The government is introducing a host of initiatives to improve the country's health sector, including improving infrastructure to ensure universal health coverage. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
In news from beyond our borders, a fire which started around 11 p.m. Thursday night has claimed the lives of over 15 children at a primary school in Kenya.
More than 15 students have died after a primary school in Nyeri area of central Kenya caught fire Thursday night. Reports say there are fears that the death toll could rise after more than 10 other students were taken to hospital with severe burns. According to authorities, the dormitory that caught fire was housing over 150 boys. Meanwhile, Kenya's President William Ruto says the news of the fire is devastating and that his government is mobilizing all the necessary resources to support the affected families. The Minister of Education says they are following President Ruto's instructions and are working with security agencies to find out the cause of the fire. Kenya Red Cross has started providing psychological support services to the students, teachers, and affected families.
The first batch of 100,000 doses of Mpox vaccine are now in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with the second batch expected to arrive this Saturday with another 100,000 doses. Reports say the 200,000 doses represent less than 15% of the 3 million doses requested by the authorities to control the Mpox outbreak in the country, which is at the epicenter of the outbreak. Mpox has been detected in 12 African countries as the UN declared the virus a global public health emergency. Meanwhile, the MVA-BN vaccine has been approved for use in adults in the European Union and the United States, and now the European Medicines Agency is currently reviewing it for a potential use in children aged between 12 and 17.
Well, we're off to a break. When we return, we give you the latest in the arts.
Wrap up your week with the TM Pick and Pay Spring Price Cut Weekend Winners. Make your weekends even brighter with unbeatable deals on all your essentials. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Stuck on you. Ooh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed.
With Showmax, your favorite characters now follow you anywhere. Download it today and watch the best in local, international, and everything in between.
Attention, travel and tourism industry professionals. Get ready for the Sanganai Hlanganani 2024 Africa's premier business exchange happening September 12th to the 14th in Bulawayo at the ZANU-PF grounds. Over 400 exhibitors and over 100 international buyers, media across the globe will interface at the 17th edition of Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo. Never take a chance to be left out to expose your business to the world. Take advantage of the networking platforms. Establish strategic business partnerships with world tourism players. Showcase your destination, products and services. Derive value from well-structured and informative international tourism forums and conferences. Join us at Sanganai Hlanganani 2024. Africa's premier business exchange awaits. See you there.
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Inbucks Swipe Card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Inbucks Swipe Card at any Inbucks booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Inbucks yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Inbucks app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. A number of events have been lined up in and around the capital, and fans are spoiled for choice, with gospel star Matthias Mere unveiling his album this Friday night.
Gospel star Matthias Mere is unveiling his album Akati Anesu at the Rainbow Towers tonight. More than 5 artists will be performing at the same event, including Vols JT, Fungitai Shakawapano, Jonah Chivasa, Mbeu and Dorcas Moyo. In comedy circles, Doc Vikela will put up a comedy show at the 7 Arts Theatre tonight.
And then in the car that we were in, they were playing like Zim dancehall. So the first song to come on was like, Tirigumanya, 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 Tirigumanya. She was like, oh, what does it mean, the song? I was like, hey, they're running, yeah, they're just running.
Trevor Dongo and Mbeu will share the stage in Kadoma at the Bright Festival set for the Saturday. Other local joints will also feature performances from a number of artists in and around the capital, with revelers being spoiled for choice, including Aganya Binde, who will serenade music lovers at the Longcheng Plaza this Saturday. Patience Nyagato, SABC News, Harare.
Well, indeed, Zimbabwe's got talent, but from our arts, we jump straight into the world of sport, where Zimbabwe kicked off the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualification campaign with a goalless drawn against Kenya in a Group J match played in Uganda this Friday.
Zimbabwe hoping for a fifth-time lacquer, while new coach Michael Nis was looking for a first-time lacquer, but both dreams failed to materialize after the Warriors and the Harambee Stars played out at a goalless draw. Going into the encounter, the Warriors had not beaten the Harambee Stars in their previous 4 meetings, and the trend continued at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Uganda. Nis put out a team looking attack-minded, but on the field of play, they were devoid of ideas and lacked incision in critical moments. Even though Zimbabwe finished stronger, they could only master one shot on target the whole match, as only Prince Dube gave the Kenyan goalminder Brian Omondi something to do. Despite failing to win, Michael Ness was happy to keep a clean sheet away from home.
We are told at the beginning a little bit shaky, a little bit frantic. The legs looked not as fresh as it should be, I must admit. The longer the game went, I think the better we found in. It was a good performance, but not a great performance.
His Kenyan counterpart, Engin Firata, was also content with the draw.
We know we will not play at home. It's nothing new. I didn't expect it even. So, and this is what makes me in one part also sad, you know.
how it can be that our neighbor is so ready and they have perfect field, perfect stadium, perfect stadium field, what we have. So this makes me sad. So the next point is, of course, everybody is talking about fans, but I expected more fans today, to be honest, if we are at our neighbor country, but it doesn't work like this. And sometimes, of course, I ask myself if Kenya is really a football country.
The other Group J match pitting Cameroon and Namibia will be played this Saturday, while Zimbabwe will be back on the playing field this Tuesday when they host the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Uganda. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Kampala.
Women's Super League log leaders, Black Rhinos Queens, are hoping to extend their lead at the top of the table when they face struggling Mutare City Queens at Chisamba grounds this Saturday. Anashem Rombedzi with that report.
Black Rhinos Queens, who have only lost once in 18 matches, are confident of running riot against their troubled opponents to keep their title hopes alive. With the 51 points, Black Rhinos have opened a 5-point gap over second place the Chapungu Queens. Their opponents, Mutare City Queens, are among the bottom 4 teams, having lost 13 out of 17 games with only 8 points to show for their efforts. While Black Rhinos are focused on maintaining a pole position, other teams are also gearing up to power pressure on the log leaders. Defending champions Hurantos Queens host another struggling team, MSU Queens, while second place Chapungu Queens welcome Conduit Academy. Platinum Royals take on Shisham, Correctional Queens entertain Highlanders Royals, Hope Academy face Harare City Queens, and Zetarapi Harare Queens play against Maningi Youth Academy. Anna Shemurombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, still in sport, with no Premier League action this weekend, attention will be on Division 1 football, which is dishing out surprise after surprise every match day.
Zifa Northern Region Division 1 League log leaders Moors face a litmus test in their title chase when they take on Shamva Mine away from home this Saturday. Coach Lloyd Mtasa, fresh from being crowned the July to August Allied Insurance Coach of the Month, will lead his team against a 3-time Northern Region Division 1 Championship winner Arthur Tutani in a thrilling encounter. With the top 4 teams in a tight race for a ticket to the Premiership, Moors is wary of Shamva Mine, who are 10th on the log with 30 points, 24 points behind the leaders. A win for Moors will see them maintaining their title chase, while a loss could narrow the game for their rivals. In other matches, Black Rhinos will face fellow army side Crimson Bullets at Commando Barracks, with the pressure mounting to keep their title hopes alive. Second place, the Harare City have a tricky test against the Hurantos under-20 at Mkushi Academy grounds, while third place, the Scotland travel to Mtura Shanga to face Palm FC at Murio Mine Stadium. In other fixtures, Karoi are up against Ngezi Platinum Stars under-19 at Chikangwe Stadium. Chinoi Stars face off with the Black Mambas at Chinoi Stadium. Zambezi take on Golden Eagles at Centenary High School, and Banget Mine welcome Agama at Kwazana Stadium.
In the Southern Region Division 1 League, a dream is slowly turning into reality for ZPC Wange, who have opened a 15-point lead at the top of the log with 13 games to go. ZPC Wange coach Mebelo Njekwa is aware of the need for consistency in the next few matches for the team to seal promotion into the Premier Soccer League.
Sikhangele ukuthi sinqobe ama-games angu-4 ukuze siqede esilapho lo umango wethu kungena ku-Premier League. But as it is khathesi, we are geared for that.
In other fixtures for this weekend, second place Casman Mine play Jordan FC, third place Nkai FC have a tricky fixture away to Bulawayo City Council, while former Premiership outfit Zimbabwe Saints are away to Zebra Revolution.
The Zimbabwe women's national cricket team, the Lady Chevrons, are ready to face the United Arab Emirates in a Capricorn Eagles tri-series at the Wanderers Cricket Ground in Windhoek, Namibia this Saturday.
The encounter between the Lady Chevrons and the United Arab Emirates is a rematch of the two teams' previous clash in the ICC T20 World Cup qualifiers in April, where Zimbabwe emerged victorious by 8 wickets. The Lady Chevrons will be looking to build on their momentum despite a mixed record in their last 5 games with 1 win, 1 draw and 3 losses. In contrast, the UAE has struggled with only 1 win and 4 losses in their last 5 outings. The Lady Chevrons are, however, not expected to underestimate their opponents, knowing that the UAE can be a formidable force on their day. Zimbabwe will be without Captain Mary-Ann Musonda, Shane Mayers and Nomvelo Msibanda, who have been omitted for youth in the tournament. The 15-member squad features a mix of experienced players and uncapped talent such as Chipo Moyo, Passionate Manorway, Tawana Nyasha Marumani, Lorraine Pemiwa and Runyara Ropa Spanojga. After facing the UAE, the Lady Chevrons will face host Namibia on Sunday in what promises to be a thrilling encounter. The tournament will run until the 14th of September, and Zimbabwe will be looking to make a strong impression in the Tri-Series. Anna Shimrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, that caps tonight's sport update. Up next is the weather report and forecast.
Hello, welcome to the weather report and focus. Looking on today's weather, we had a full day of sunshine, though we had cold conditions in the morning and towards this evening in most areas across Zimbabwe. Now, windy and cloudy conditions are expected on Monday and Tuesday over the southern and eastern parts of the country, with chances of light rain and drizzle in places. Now, the satellite image is showing weather conditions from Friday this evening into Tuesday. Later on in the afternoon, sunny conditions Saturday and Sunday, and clouds start infiltrating the country early Monday morning into Tuesday the whole day, and clearing should start happening later on Tuesday in the evening. Now, for our lows tonight, we're expecting mild conditions throughout the night, with the highest being 19 over Kariba area. As for the maximum temperatures, it should be warm across the country, with the highest being Kariba as well, with 35 degrees Celsius, and the least over Mutare with the 29 degrees Celsius. Now, moving on, Bulawayo is focused to be sunny for the greater part of the week. It should start being cloudy as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Windy conditions should be felt here and there. Mild morning conditions becoming warm by the afternoon. As for Chunoi, it's focused to be sunny for the greater part of the week, cloudy as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Gwanda, mild morning conditions and warm afternoons. Windy conditions as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Moving on, Gweru, the Midlands, is focused to be cloudy Monday and Tuesday. Windy here and there with cool morning conditions and warm afternoons. Harare is focused to have sunny conditions for the greater part of the week, cloudy as we get into Tuesday. Cool in the morning, becoming warm by the afternoon. Kadoma, sunny for the greater part of the week. We're likely to have cloudy conditions in the evening on Tuesday. Cool in the morning, becoming warm by the afternoon. As for Kariba, it's focused to be cloudy on Monday and Tuesday. Cool in the morning, becoming warm by the afternoon. Freshening winds should be felt here and there. As for Lupani, sunny throughout the focus period. Freshening winds should be felt as well. As for Kwekwe, we're expecting sunny conditions throughout the focus period. As for Masvingo, cloudy conditions as we get into Monday, windy and cool in the morning, becoming warm by the afternoon. As for Matopos, we're expecting mostly sunny conditions for the greater part of the week, windy on Monday and Tuesday with some cloudy conditions. As for the Manicaland Nyanga area, we're expecting cloudy conditions as we get into Monday with some chances of light rain and drizzle. As for Victoria Falls, mostly sunny conditions should prevail for the week, and mild morning conditions with warm afternoons. That's all on weather news today.
Well, that caps tonight's bulletin. From the crew behind the scenes and all of us here, good night.
Good night.